Are you here to live? You here to grow? Are you here to expand? Or are you here to live the same day over and over again for the rest of your life? Right. And these are more philosophical questions. And, I would argue that deep down, like nobody wants to live the same day every day. Right.
Right.
That's more of just a response to challenges that we haven't grown from and that's created pain and we don't know a path forward. And so we shut down our desires from that place. The more we get in tune with ourselves, the more it's getting this permission to evolve is like we're actually like giving ourselves permission to dream again because we're healing the things that shut us down in life that, the disappointment, letdown, all the rug pull, all the blindsided by things. We're shifting our relationship with these things and we're trying to see them as a necessary part of the process. And it's who was I before this thing happened?
Right.
And this thing happening was that designed to push me to grow. And I didn't accept that challenge or it was too overwhelming. So it just buried me. Right. And it could be a mixture. If we unpack some of these things and you start to feel lighter and you start to see actually that still is within me. Like I still do have desires. And they just got so buried where I felt like nothing else was possible. And so I gave up on them. Okay. That's generally underneath it all. We're still going to have those. It just might be very muted. And that's what a lot of these things are. It's, alcohol and drug dependence and like all those things. It's we have this part of us that has desires, but we keep numbing it out and shutting it down. Okay.
Right.
So we're basically trying to quiet the signals. And that's because life is expansive, right? If I'm actually engaged in living my life, I'm going to want to grow. I'm going to want to take some new steps. I'm going to want some excitement and adventure and things like that. I'm not going to stay in this place of like, I just need to live in this tiny little bubble the rest of my life. That's only going to come from a lot of pain stacking up. And then it's just, I don't want any more of the pain. So I'm just going to kind of wall everything off.
Right. Right.
And so the behavior change model is going to be like I'm going to be functioning in some version of shut down and really defeated in a certain area and I'm starting to see problems there, and so maybe I want to take a step, but I'm just going to try and isolate this one variable when there's all these things in my past that are in conflict that I've built an identity around how this is impossible for me. Okay, so our mind starts to make these exceptions to the rule that for some reason, it's not possible for me, even though it might be possible for somebody else. We start to create all these exceptions and these rules, and that's creates our reality. Really, it's our perception of these problems. So if I don't have if my identity is in direct conflict with it, there is going to be a lot of sabotage coming up. There's going to be a lot of defeated thinking. It is going to feel like I'm trying to kind of push a boulder up a mountain. That's what that's going to feel like. And so what we do is we go in and we try and address the root issue and be like, there was a point where you're optimistic. There was a point where, you felt like you can make progress there, but things stacked up. Okay. Life can beat us down, or it can be very difficult. And in essence, that was kind of my story, right? It's that things got so hard and stacked up so much that I just had to kind of remove myself for a little bit and just reworked everything in my mind because everything
Right.
was geared towards failure. Everything was geared towards nothing I do matters, nothing is ever good enough, like that kind of stuff. And
Right.
so you can't be believing those things and make things happen at the same time because you're just going to be at war with yourself every step of the way. And so what I teach is aligning. It's aligning with what you want. We can get there, but we are going to have to face some challenges. We're going to have to face some parts of yourself that maybe you don't want to look at. But if we can move through that stuff and you make peace with it, and you see it as part of the process, you see it as a necessary thing that happened so that you could gain some wisdom and some growth. That's all designed to prepare you for bigger and better things. So
Sure.
it is a matter of perception.